Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Adventures in Golf. For this episode, we came to Oaxaca to meet a man named Jamie, who came 40 years ago for the surf, but stayed to build a golf course.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to paradise, folks. I mean, welcome to Puerto Escondido, a small port town on the west coast of the Mexican state, Oaxaca. I first heard about this place from a guy lounging on some sort of daybed while I was in Tulum. He described it to me as Tulum 10 years ago. Not having any idea what he meant by that, I packed a bag and I came to see it for myself. This is a road. This is on Google Maps right here. Like so much of coastal Mexico, tourism is beginning to play a larger role in Puerto Escondido. Unlike the neighboring high-end resorts on this magical coast, this town caters to a more downscale and eclectic clientele. Mostly Mexican families, backpackers, and surfers seeking its off-the-radar beaches that the local community here fiercely protects. Still, the tide of tourism seems impossible to stop, and each year the beaches see more and more people than the year before, systematically moving south. First it was Centro, then it was Zicatela, but now it's La Punta. A 10-block strip of barefoot jet-setters, La Punta bears a striking resemblance to Tulum. But I'll give it this, it has a slightly more off-the-beaten-track feel, which may keep its digital footprint smaller for a little while longer. After all, before social media, this place had to be discovered. And the only way to do that was by bus or by board.
40 years ago, I had planned on coming down for a 3-week surf trip, and I liked the area so much that I ended up selling my ticket and staying another 3 weeks and took the bus back home.
This is Jamie Tucker, born and raised in Santa Monica, California. His first trip here was in 1979.
Those pine trees weren't there, so we had a little bit more of a straight-on view.
Yeah.
But you got the view still.
He was so enamored by the beauty, the solitude, and the waves that it wouldn't be his last.
The next year, I drove down and ended up staying 5 months.
You drove from Santa Monica to Puerto Escondido?
Yeah, 3,000 miles.
How many people do you think have done that drive?
I would say dozens.
Dozens. ¿Vives aquí por cuántos años?
Pues más o menos como unos 40.
40. Carmelita Cruz has been renting rooms here for over 40 years, including to Jamie.
I stayed here from 1980 to 1984.
Wow.
About 4 to 6 months each year.
So much has changed since then, as Carmelita knows firsthand. ¿Y tienes, cómo se dice, hotel?
Pues ahorita no, porque ya las personas necesitan como ese.
She points to hotels down the beach that cater to a more modern tourist, which over the years has reduced the rooms she rents to 7.
Mucha gente ya no quieren así, hotel.
There's waves all over the world. What drew you to Mexico and this wave?
Basically, someone told us about this place, and after arriving here, it was basically true paradise.
You may be wondering if this episode should be renamed Adventures in Surf. Well, as fun as that sounds, and as much as I wish I was a bronzed, well-built surfer with no fear of jellyfish or stingrays, I'm just a guy with an okay golf tan and a developing back issue. This says it all right here, right? That said, there is a very real connection between the two. Something I discussed with Brendan Thomas, my old friend, and the genius behind the Golfer's Journal and the Surfer's Journal before I made this trip. When it comes to surfing and golf, like, what is the most singular and obvious parallel that you see?
It's a gigantic waste of time, both of them. if you think about it. Think about the man hours that you're wasting chasing a white ball around or staring at the horizon. And I mean, I say that obviously facetiously. It's, you know, essential to my sanity, and it is for a lot of people. It's meditative and it's, you know, in nature. It's all the things that you want from a leisure experience.
It's no wonder then that Jamie developed a love for golf as well.
Golf has been in my family for pretty much ever. My mother and father both played golf. I played golf when I was like 13, but I pursued more surfing than golf. But I always had a dream of building a golf course.
And now that dream is coming true, right in his own backyard.
That was the original first green of native grass. We had a little pitch and putt at our old place. I started mowing, and I'd mow and mow and mow, and finally we had like 2,000 or 2,500 meters of mowed grass. And then out here one day, I just said, wow, it's a perfect spot.
And so Puerto Golf was born. And right now, Jamie and his family are working on what will become a 3-hole golf course.
This is a couple weeks away from putting the cup in. Wow.
But 6 years ago, it started with just a driving range. Open to the public, it's the only spot for local golfers to get their fix. Tell me a little bit about the golf course.
Papa and I, we want to do something together. You know, like we wanted to, like, I cannot go surfing. I don't like surfing. I love it because of him. But I don't need to be in it to love in it, you know?
This is Jamie's wife, Maria. And besides the calling of the sand and surf, she is the primary reason that Jamie settled in Puerto for good.
It was a long process. It took like 5 months to get the first date.
My husband was a good man, but also he's handsome too, so I got everything. So I call him my Leonardo DiCaprio because...
You call him what?
My Leonardo DiCaprio. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you, but to me, that's how I name him.
Patience and persistence, and I got there.
You could say patience and persistence is involved in a lot of things that you love.
Yes.
And most of these are pretty much from, you know, when I was like 7 or 8 to like 12, which is when I played like a ton. You know, that was when, you know, I was like, oh, maybe I'll become pro one day.
An avid golfer himself, James has come to help his father fulfill his dream.
When did you first become aware of your dad's vision for having golf on the property?
I mean, it was basically right when he started the driving range, which was 2015, I want to say, or so, like 5 or 6 years ago. And he was basically like, oh, like if I get Lorena Ochoa to come do like a kids camp down here, then you have to come here for a month and work on the course. So hasn't happened yet, but you know, ever since then, it's kind of just been in our minds. And obviously, like, you know, growing up, I was playing a bunch of golf.
He started golf with my brother at like 7.
Oh.
He was in tournaments, and he was big into golf.
Right.
A lot of memories, you know, back when golf was just like, I mean, obviously golf is pretty centered in life right now. But back then it was like, you know, golf.
And then when he was getting ready for college, he said, hey, it's either school or golf. So he decided to study.
Smart.
What I want to do is actually when we, you know, get the course going and maybe get like some kids playing out here, is like take some and just like take the plaque off and make like a new one and have those as the trophies.
Oh, that's such a good idea. This is awesome.
The range started with just like mats on dirt, you know, and not looking as good as it looks now. And it's kind of just about keeping it going and improving it and, you know, having fun with it.
This is kind of like your version of a siesta. Just like hit some balls in the shade around 11 a.m.
Oh man, if the shade wasn't here,
Oh, you'd be burning.
Yeah, there's no way.
Nothing like a rooster in the backswing, huh?
Yeah.
This is it right here. I think I almost want a range more than I would want, like, a golf course. It's just the essence of it all. You know, there's no target, there's no score, there's nothing beyond just the swing and the ball.
It's peaceful out here. typically when people come out, we just give them the balls and the clubs, and you know, they just tell them, hey, like, can you close it on the way out? And they leave the money in this little bag, so we always come back and check to see how much they left in case they left like a tip or something.
Amazing.
And it's always fun to see.
It's like fishing almost.
Yeah, it's
this is a golf trap.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're trying to catch golfers.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
¿Cuántos tiempos una semana vas a Puerto Golf con Jaime?
Por una o dos veces por semana.
Caught in the trap is Daniel Moraz, owner of Casa Prieta, a new hotel right off the beach in Zicatela. Daniel relies on tourism, but he also understands how special Puerto Escondido really is.
Porque como que es un lugar todavía que no es tan grande como Cancún o como Los Cabos, que ya tiene buenos servicios, pero que todavía te permite estar en contacto con la naturaleza. No hay todavía esa presión social, ¿no? Tú con unas chanclas y un short no tienes problema. Todo el mundo andamos así y nadie te dice nada.
He also explains how, back in the 70s, the government tried to turn this place into the next Cancún.
Fonatur es una institución del gobierno que se dedica a hacer desarrollos turísticos en México, pero es del gobierno. Fonatur, el proyecto de Huatulco sí va a ser en esta zona. La gente de acá no lo permitió.
So instead, Fonatur focused its attention 3 hours south and created Huatulco, a small resort area that draws big crowds. It also has, and no surprise here, the closest and one of the best 18-hole courses in the country. Huatulco's creation slowed Puerto Escondido's tourism, but didn't halt it. Like Jamie, Daniel remembers what it was like before things started changing.
Cuando era niño, caminaba por esa playa.
Yeah.
Aquí solo había selva.
Ah.
No casas.
No casas.
No.
Sin casas.
No casas, nada. Solo allá.
Solo allá.
Solo allá.
Todo la selva.
Todo selva.
Also like Jamie, he has a passion for golf, so he was very happy to hear about Jamie's homegrown golf project.
Yo lo estoy apoyando mucho porque él es un hombre de mucho entusiasmo y está muy entusiasmado con el lugar, ¿no?
Yeah.
Y ya tenemos un lugar donde ir a practicar porque aquí no hay hasta Huatulco un campo.
How much work does the golf course entail?
I would say we spend 8 to 10 hours a week. What we really didn't know is that the greens are a big job.
I saw the one on the way in. That looks amazing. Right by
We haven't put the cups in yet because
Okay.
we're gonna.
There's still like 90–95% there.
Okay.
So we're kind of just being patient with it.
Okay.
The thing is here, you can't really just go out and buy like a roller to flatten. You kind of have to make everything yourself. So the welder's taking about like 3 weeks to do it.
Right.
So you want to like roll them before we lower the height. But I mean,
Right.
the grass is like super healthy. So I guess that's the important part.
They entail a lot of attention, a lot of water, and a lot of mowing.
Actually, the mower we order it from a company in Monterey, and which is like big city in northern Mexico.
Yeah.
And they actually imported that mower from like Southern California.
How
So-
long does it take to get the mower from Monterey to here?
It took like 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah. Basically anything golf equipment related here is gonna run you like double the price
Yeah.
in the US.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, we had to think about it before we went for it.
You know, the good thing about him living here now is I get to sneak away and surf more. And as to the golf course, he's helped tremendously and inspiration and everything for the course.
What's the vision for this place?
You know, we have these like three greens that we put in the Bermuda grass, and we want to play like a double circuit. So like 1, 2, 3 holes, and then you play it like backwards, and you have 6 holes. It's a good use of the land, and yeah, so that's kind of the short-term version, and then obviously, you know, the bonus 7th hole over there.
Jamie and James invite me to play the bonus 7th hole, a hole that James affectionately calls the money shot.
My ideal tee would be to tee through a hole in the bushes. And you had to go through the hole and out onto the fairway. And we have something similar to that now.
This is just like, it's bizarre how it's just like you want it. You know, it's just this
Yeah.
incredible view.
James put it on Google and it's like 190, so.
Oh, you can find the yardage on Google.
But honestly, with the wind and everything going on, on the downhill. It's kind of a leap of faith.
That's so cool to watch. Oh, yeah.
Joining us to play this amazing hole is Mario Garcia, who helped the Tuckers install and maintain their 3 greens. As a local caddy, he's seen some great golf holes, but no one has seen anything like this.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
That's it. Oh, yeah. Oh!
It hit the sand.
How many of these are we going to find, you think?
If we find 5, I think that would be pretty good.
Yeah, this could be a thing where you just never leave. You came down for a wave, I came down for a tee shot.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. We heard it.
It sounded like it hit sand. Yeah. I think that might be on.
This could be the longest walk from tee to green. And it's a par 3.
It's about a 20-minute hike down to the floor of the ravine, and both father and son carry the tools necessary for our success. James carries a putter, his father, a machete.
How many times do you think you've hiked this trail?
I don't know. Myself, at least 100.
100.
My dad, oh, more than that. Dude.
Oh,
I
my
see.
goodness.
4 balls.
Are you kidding me?
There's probably a couple more, too, hanging out.
I've never seen anything
5,
like
6.
it. I mean, this is like a piece of art. It's like a sculpture, Jamie.
It is. That's James.
This is incredible, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is
Honestly,
so cool.
it's just...
It's more beautiful down here than maybe it is up there, which is... I don't even know how that's possible.
Let's do it.
So we go through this footprint here. Tough. That was tough.
Right.
Now your shot.
Oh, I wanted to.
Yeah, it
slows down right
there. Can I clear that a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a par.
That's amazing.
I can't believe that.
That's crazy.
I'm not big on superlatives, but I can safely say that this is the wildest par of my life. As we climb up out of the jungle, smiles all around, with putter, machete, and golf flag in hand, I sense how beautiful and rare this all is. A truly handmade golf experience that grew from a wild seed that somehow landed here.
All right, we're here at Las Tayudas del Sector E. I think the name says it all. We're looking for tlayudas. This was recommended to us. I can't tell you what a tlayuda is, so I'm just going to show you. Buenas noches. Solo quiero 5 tlayudas, por favor.
¿De qué va a ser?
¿Qué es lo mejor? No sé. Es mi primera vez para comer una tlayuda.
¿Es la primera vez? Ok,
Sí,
tenemos
sí.
tlayudas de costilla.
Costilla, okay?
Buenísima.
Okay, gracias.
Tlayudas are native to Oaxaca, and they start with a spread of refried beans and cheese on a large tortilla, which is then toasted over an open flame, making it nice and crispy. Once complete, you use that merely as a base, and you add some meat, some lettuce, some avocado, little salsa, whatever you like. Here's where you have a choice. You can stack it on top or stick it inside, like I did. But any way you do it, it's gonna be good.
It tastes like you just took an entree and then put a tortilla around it. It's amazing. It was very unique. It might be the best thing we've had all week.
The next morning, Jamie has me up at the crack of dawn to take part in his first love, surfing.
So where are we going today?
Called Tierra Blanca or platforms. There's kind of 2 little spots.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically, I mean, from Puerto, 20, 30-minute drive.
I guess it's where the kooks go. Sort of a par 3 course for your friend that's just getting into golf.
I mean, just because you're a new surfer doesn't mean It doesn't necessarily mean you're a kook. I mean, I guess it's more likely.
I think the definition kook would be more of a attitude, not a level of ability. Looks kind of nice, really fun. It's kind of like thumbs up.
Kind of like thumbs up?
Yeah, it's just a long ways out. I'll take one of the two, you take one of the two, and if you feel comfortable, we'll switch out there.
Okay, cool.
After yesterday's wild par, all I'm hoping for today is to avoid an interaction with some type of crazy ocean creature. Catching a wave does seem like a tall order, but like I always say, I'll try anything twice. With my chest and arms burning and salt water in my eyes and nose, I can barely make out Jamie ahead. Cool as a cucumber, patient and positive, urging me further and further from shore. Finally, we're out past the break, where we line up and wait. After 15 minutes of sitting on the board, my favorite part so far, Jamie tells me to get ready. I quickly try to remember all of the things he told me, and I paddle with everything I've got. All of a sudden, I'm up, and I feel it. It was like your first pure 8-iron that lands right in the middle of the green. And in a moment, I got it.
All right, so first take, Jamie, how'd it go?
Insane. Eric, you killed it. You killed it. No one paddles out like that and catches a wave.
I mean, how many waves does it take before you're addicted?
One.
Armed with a huge new life experience under my soggy drawstring, it was time for a little golf. So we jumped in the car and headed south to Huatulco to see what Puerto Escondido could have been.
Hay un campo de golf en Huatulco. ¿Quieres ir? Un buen día. That's how to ride.
We arrived at what may be an all too familiar sight when it comes to tourism in Mexico, Las Brisas Huatulco, an all-inclusive resort that feels a bit like a cruise ship just parked here on shore 20 years ago, but didn't stop taking passengers.
It's interesting that we have kind of a couple different ways that tourism can grow and develop. Here's one way, Puerto Escondido is another.
Yeah, it has it's two different stories, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Architect Maria Castanares works with Fonatur creating tourist destinations.
Fonatur, just to make a comparison, was the one that developed Los Cabos and Cancún.
Huatulco está bien o no?
Huatulco está bien, es un lugar bonito. Yo creo que Huatulco tiene las mejores bahías del Pacífico, de todo el Pacífico, no solo de México. Parece que estuvieras en el Caribe. Es un lugar bonito realmente, pero como que no tiene ese espíritu, esa vida que tiene Puerto Escondido.
From an architecture standpoint, you probably experienced this, but the concern is for a country to lose its way in the way it represents itself to the rest of the world. Because, let me guess, you're not going to be super excited if someone tells you, I've been to Mexico, and then you say, where? And then they say Cancun.
Yeah, you're totally right.
So that's the problem, is that you don't want the gateway to your country to be Disney World or, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Don't get me wrong, there's also a lot of value to what Fonatur provides. Maybe a place like this doesn't represent all of Mexico, but like a small wave teaches a kook, or a par 3 course teaches a hack, this place is like a stepping stone for the next phase of the traveler, which for me is Huatulco's premier golf course, Las Parotas, which was redesigned in 2014 by a friend of ours. We are at Augustine Pisa's first real course that put him on the map. He renovated this golf course, and he won an award for sustainability. And as he told me, there were a lot of other people in the runnings to
get the job redesigning this course. You know their names. Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player were two of them. And the owner gave it to Augustine. And that was the watershed moment in his career of like being able to work internationally because Huatulco is such a big destination.
Jamie and Daniel are already waiting for me, and the three of us jump right onto the first hole.
¿Qué par campo es? 72.
No.
¿Sí?
72.
Vámonos. Tenemos un chance.
Also on the course, another familiar face.
260, pero esto es 300, ¿no?
Mario is one of our caddies.
Más izquierda. Esto es mi primer game of golf in Oaxaca. Jamie's like, really? You're lying. Perfecto. ¿Cómo se dice stinger in Spanish? ¿Sabes? Stinger?
Cacha.
Cacha. Cacho. See, he gets it now. Just over here inventing words. You know, I guess the golf equivalent to a kook is a hack. You kind of don't know what's going on. Yeah, hack. They kind of sound the same.
Muy bien.
Gracias. Come on.
Yes! Oh, look at that. There you go. Look at that.
Oh.
All right, we're back in action again.
I love it. When I was talking to Maria yesterday, she was saying, like, it took a minute to, like, really dig into the culture of Mexico for you. Like, how long did it take? To not just be seen as a gringo, really.
I would say by my third trip, after about a full year of time here.
Has the local community accepted Jamie now?
You know, I did better. When we move in here, it's better because now we have our own community. Like now, when there's a tequio, they go like maybe go clean up the park with the machete. He was machete or chavo. He got to go.
And does he make friends?
Oh my God, everybody loves him now.
Everybody loves Jamie?
Yeah. See, they want to make sure that not because he's a gringo, he's not going to go. They want to make sure that he's going to go.
What does gringo mean? I mean, I know it means white person, but...
Remember, verde is like the uniform the gringos used to wear? Green. And go is como vete.
Okay.
Like go is leave. So green is for green.
Oh, it literally means leave.
Green, yes, like go, gringo.
After spending these last few days with Jamie, it's clear just how deep his roots have grown into this Mexican soil. Extending well beyond the greens of his home course and the wave that changed his life forever, his joy and enthusiasm for life touches everyone around him.
I thought that was very special, the wave that you caught today, and it really meant a lot to me.
But what you did today was like selfless, and that's where real joy comes from. Because like, I needed you to do it. I could not have done that alone, right?
Yeah.
And so it was truly a shared experience.
Yeah. We bonded.
Yeah. I love it. And he's out. All right, we got a par 3 on our hands. Mario, ¿cuántos son?
125.
25.
Yeah.
125.
Yeah.
Oh, little ground cut.
Oh, what a bounce!
Nice shot. Cabron, yeah, nice shot.
That was a good bounce.
That was perfect.
Ooh, nice little fade.
Pitching wedge. ¿Quieres un 9? Okay, yeah, he's not. No, yeah. Maria was calling you Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, dude.
I don't know where she got that from.
I mean, 20-year-old Jamie, dude. Like, yeah, you did some modeling, I heard. Nice, Mario.
Hey!
Nice shot. How's that? Come on. Right at it.
Bushes.
Get left, get short.
Puerto Escondido wanted not money or business, but to be its own place. Totally free. Huatulco wanted help, to become a place for people to easily visit and enjoy their time off of work. This won't and should not change. However, us kooks and hacks, we're destined to change as we learn about the spectrum of contrast.
Buen juego.
Good game.
Thank you.
And a very few special ones Well, they find their love and they plant a golf course there.